Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for tonight's coverage of the Thunderstruck SamAllyCo Late Model Series. Tonight, these late models will be taking on Lanier for 100 laps of racing action. I'm going to be your announcer for tonight's event. My name is Atlee @Manwees, and I'm excited to call every second of tonight's short track racing action. Let's see. Hold on. Bully Dog Coffee Company and Media says no sound. My mic audio is working, because that's registering. Some sound from the cars. Headphones are working. I don't know. But we've got a special Halloween race coming at you. There's no tricks here. It's going to be a fun night of racing action. Heading into this week, we were at Oswego last week, where we saw Elliott Carlson grab his first win of the season. Didn't lead all the laps. In fact, out of all of the lap leaders in that race, he led the least amount of laps with 6. But he led the laps that counted, and he got it done. After starting all the way in 10th, he went from 10th to 1st. Great performance by car number 09. Finishing second was Dylan Bates. He dominated that race, leading 87 of the 103 laps. But he ended up coming up just short. Jake Boehm finished third. Fourth was your pole sitter, Eric Tracy. He led 10 laps. And then running at your top 5, that was Rick Rube. So, heading into this race, Eric Tracy is your point standings leader. He's got 1 win this season at USA. And we've got a really tight points battle, because in second place, only 5 points back, it's Dylan Bates. He's got 2 wins this season at Myrtle Beach and Southern National. Now, I will say this, both Eric and Dylan are not in the session tonight, so that could pave the way for the driver who is currently 3rd in points, Jake Boehm. He is 13 points back. 4th is Rick Rube, who is 20 points back. And rounding at your top 5 in points, that is Kieran Church. He is 24 points back from the point standings lead. Now our other winner, like I said, Elliott Carlson. He is not in the top 5 in points, but he does have a win this season. He won last week at Oswego. So this race will really shake things up, because I'm looking right now at the field tonight, and 2 of the top 5 are not in the session. What volume is low? Bully Dog Coffee Company and Media. Is it my microphone volume? Is it the car audio? Love to be able to fix it. So just let me know in the chat what it's doing. Is it my mic audio? Is it the car audio? Do got to give a big thank you to our series sponsor, SamAllyCo. SamAllyCo is your one-stop shop for great gifts. You can find a wide variety of artful and expressive candles, graphic tees, and mugs on their easy-to-navigate website. SamAllyCo also offers PC builds and repairs for those in the Fort Wayne area. You can check out their website, samally.com. Link is in the description to find some great gifts. Yeah, I don't know, Robert. We do have a chatter on YouTube that is saying there's some audio issues. Your sound is fine. Yeah, I don't know. But definitely check them out. Holiday season is coming up. If you're looking for any great gifts, definitely go check them out. They have a lot of cool items on there. And definitely proud to have them on board with the Thunderstruck SamAllyCo Late Model Series. Currently in practice, we see Jake Boehm is on the top of the board with a 13.47. He's 200ths ahead of second place Corey Bigley. Rick Rube is 3rd on the board. 4th is Josh Oswald. And rounding at your top 5 on the board, that is Tyler Rice. And at the end of practice, looks like we will have 10 cars for this race. maybe a smaller field, but it's going to be a mighty field. All of these drivers are competitive, and I have a feeling it's going to be some very close racing. So it's now time to determine that starting lineup. Qualifying is underway. We got all of our drivers hitting the racetrack. There's Jake Boehm crossing the start-finish line, beginning his first lap. He's been a good qualifier this season. Qualified third last week at Oswego. Of course, this track a little bit different than Oswego. And he will go to the top of the board on lap number 1 with a 13.53. Josh Oswald second on the board with a 13.57. We see Rick Rubel jump to third with a 13.59. He is 500ths off of Jake Boehm. We see Alex Veith sitting there in fourth with a 13.72. It's about 0.2 off. Rick Rube was slower on his second lap. But nobody else able to break into the top 3 yet. There's Aaron Ward slowing down. Tyler Rice trying to see what he can do. He goes to fourth on his first lap with a 13.62. That puts him 900ths off of Jake Boehm. Now there's Elliott Carlson out on track for his first lap. Trying to carry on his momentum from last week's win at Oswego. He was just kind of at the right place at the right time. Avoided the wrecks, saved his tires, was there when it counted. So we'll see what he can do tonight. First lap puts it 7th. Second lap, he'll pick it up to 6th on the board with a 13.71. There's Kiernan Church on track. Coming into this race, 5th place in points. Trying to see what he can do. He's been a good qualifier as well this season. Qualified 4th last week at Oswego. Trying to make a run for the pole here. And he will go to 3rd on his first lap. We see Corey Bigley goes to 2nd on his first lap with a 13.53. It's going to come down to the thousandths of a second. Looks like Jake Boehm still a little bit faster, but if Corey Bigley picks up on lap number 2, he no doubt will get the pole, and yes, he does. Corey Bigley goes to a 13.52, only 100th of a second ahead of Jake Boehm. That'll knock Josh Oswald down to 3rd. We see Elliott Carlson still out there turning laps. After you have completed your 2 laps, you can stay out there, turn some extra laps, but it won't count towards your time. So maybe Carlson's testing some things with his setup, with his brake bias. Trying to make sure that car is in tip-top shape, ready to go for the feature event. And so he will come to a stop. Do want to talk really quickly about the track that we are racing at tonight. Lanier Raceway in Braselton, Georgia, just across the street from Road Atlanta. The Lanier Raceway is one of the toughest and most brutal short tracks to ever exist in the racing world, with a length of 3/8 of a mile and 11 degrees of banking in the turns. The drivers practice hard and long since the track does not give you the victory quite so easily. It's always a fun one, always a challenge. If you ask a lot of drivers, a lot of them will say that this is their favorite track. It is one of the first tracks that you get for free when you join the iRacing platform, so most of these drivers have turned thousands of laps here at Lanier. And it should put on a good show tonight. Obviously, we are running the newest late model stock vehicle that replaced the old Chevy Monte Carlo SS. The car's late model stock. It's a 500 horsepower V8 roaring beast for many short tracks and mile oval tracks throughout the southeast. The car has double arm suspension with coilover shocks and springs combined with the truck arm and track bar, giving it the stability, agility, and proper turning needed to get around the tight short tracks and wider mile oval tracks with relative ease. The car also features a 4-speed manual transmission with 475 foot-pounds of torque, giving it some serious muscle out on the track. Whether you watch them in person, whether you check them out IRL, I mean, these things are amazing. They're fun to watch. They're fun to drive. I know that these guys are definitely having a blast out there. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out. With the top two in points not in the session tonight, shot at the point standings lead is wide open. We'll see if anybody will take advantage of it. Right now in the warm-up, Kieran Church top of the board with a 13.53. He is 300ths ahead of Rick Rube. We see Chris Reese third on the board, fourth Alex Veith, fifth on the board is Aaron Ward. Be a fun one. There we go. Warm-up is over. We are getting set for your feature event. All right. Here we go. We are getting set. Take a look at your starting lineup for tonight's feature event, starting on the pole with a time of 13.522. Scorched not lap time. That's the 28 of Corey Bigley. On his outside, it's Jake Boehm in the 18. Third is the 17 of Josh the Jet Oswald. Fourth is Velocity Motorsports is Kieran Church in the 22. Rounding at your top five, that is the 81 of Rick Rube. Sixth, it's Oval Addicts is Tyler Rice in the 6th. 7th, it's the 99 of Aaron Ward. 8th is Elliot Carlson in the 09. In 9th, it's the 51 Dark Horse Motorsports driver of Alex Veith. And rounding out the field in 10th, it's Highside Racing's Chris Reese in the 62. So 10 drivers, tight field. Obviously, there are definitely some favorites, but I could see this race going a lot of places. So we'll just have to watch and see how it all plays out. But Corey Bigley starting on the pole. He did not race last week at Oswego. They're just trying to get back into the swing of things here at Lanier. And he certainly did, parking it on the pole. And he'll have some stiff competition all around him. Jake Boehm, hungry for his first win of the season. So is Josh Oswald. And there is only one driver in the field with a race win this season. That's Elliot Carlson. Everybody else searching for win number 1 for season 3. We'll see who'll get it done. Green flag is in the air, and your late model stock car feature is underway. Good start for Jake Boehm on the outside, but there's Corey Bigley fighting back on the bottom. He's got a big run into 3 and 4, and he will shut the door on the 18, clearing him for that race lead. But Jake Boehm sticking right behind that 28 in the second place spot. Trying to look to the bottom. He gets there. They are door to door off of 4, and Jake Boehm will get to the race lead, knocking Corey Bigley down to second. He just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 13.78. Corey Bigley, though, keeping it right in his tire tracks in second, not letting him get too far ahead. We'll see what kind of pace Jake Boehm will set now that he is controlling this field. Corey Bigley keeping it close. These two running away from third place, Josh Oswald. Elsewhere, we see Rick Rube trying to get by Josh Oswald for third. Looks low off of 4. We see Oswald shuts that door before Rube can get there. Oswald, another driver, definitely would love first win of the season. It's been a little bit of a rough year for driver number 17. So he's hoping he can turn his luck around at Lanier. Jake Boehm, currently fastest late model on the track right now, 13.76 last time by. Got to be careful. Don't want to burn up those tires. Corey Bigley, Josh Oswald, Rick Rube, all those guys behind him, very good at tire saving. So he's got to be careful to not set too much of a blistering pace early on and compromise his speed later on in the race. Corey Bigley keeping it close, not letting Boehm run away with it. Boehm just trying his best to manage the gap. Big run through the center of the corner for Corey Bigley. From entry to center, that 28 is fast. Boehm just getting better runs off the corner. So if Bigley can figure out what he's doing on exit, he could potentially snatch this race lead back, or maybe he's hanging back. Because that's one of the things with saving these tires is you don't want to get too hard on the gas on exit, spin the tires, because that'll burn the tires really quickly. So Corey Bigley may be being a little bit conservative on the gas off the corner to make sure he doesn't burn off his tires as quick as Jake Boehm does. Big run into 1 and 2. Like I said, Boehm just extends that gap off the corner. Let's take a look at the onboard cam of Corey Bigley. See, running right on that apron. Really arcing that corner, clips the bottom. And it just looks like, yeah, Jake Boehm is just getting into the gas a little bit harder off the corner. And you can kind of tell by the fact that he's a little bit higher up the racetrack when he gasses up compared to Boehm. Definitely interested in watching this cat and mouse game play out, because it could definitely affect the end of this race. Jake Boehm's led a lot of laps this season, but has not been able to get it done just because of various things happening. He's gotten bumped out of the lead. So if he can close out this race tonight, definitely would be a big accomplishment for that 18 team, getting it done for the first time this season. He's chasing the point standings lead. He's only 13 points back, and the top two are missing tonight's event. So we'll see what he can do. Elsewhere, we see Rick Rube trying to get by Chris Reese for that 4th place spot. Chris Reese has been wheeling and dealing his way up through the field, started in the rear, already up into the top 5. He's been the biggest mover of the race so far. It's definitely been impressive, but just got to be careful to make sure that he saves his car until the very end so he can stay in the top 5 and not get booted back out. to where he started this race. And he is and he's able to get by Josh Oswald. So Chris Reese up into the top 3 now. Car 62 is rolling. And we'll see how long that will last for Reese, if he can keep up this pace. We are a quarter of the way through this race. Jake Boehm, your race leader. Corey Bigley, second. Chris Reese, third. Rick Rubin, fourth. Josh Oswald, he rounds out your top 5. Tyler Rice, 6th. Kiernan Church, 7th. Elliott Carlson, 8th. Alex Veith, 9th. And rounding out the field in 10th, that is Aaron Ward. And we continue to watch this battle for the lead, but pretty much from 1st to 9th, you could throw a blanket over the field. Gosh, this is a competitive field. It's just a matter of who is going to try to make a move first. And it may be Chris Reese on Bigley, yeah. He's able to get underneath the 28 off of turn number 4 there, side by side, down the front stretch. Reese with the nose on the bottom, and he is able to clear the 28. So the 62 just continuing to make moves. Corey Bigley says, hey, I want that spot back. He goes back underneath Reese into 3 and 4. And he will take 2nd place back for good after he clears them through 1 and 2. So now Chris Reese trying not to get stuck on the outside. He's got Rick Rube underneath them. He's trying to make it work up there. Corey Bigley still clear of him. But Chris Reese hanging on the outside. Just trying to see what he can make work up there. They remain door handle to door handle. Rick Rube able to finally clear Reese off of 4. And now he will try to set his sights on your top 2. Jake Boehm, Corey Bigley. Corey Bigley just still keeping it close, right with Jake Boehm. Had a little bit of a scare there as Chris Reese almost got by him from 2nd, but he was able to quickly set up a pass and get back by car number 62. So we see Jake Boehm starting to extend that gap. Rick Rube trying to close up the gap between himself and Corey Bigley. Rube searching for his first win of the season. I'd love to get it done here tonight. Jake Boehm hanging on to things for the race lead. Corey Bigley closes up that gap a little bit. And again, wow, this is crazy. From 1st all the way to 8th, it's a late model stock car choo-choo train. As the field just so tight. And that shows just how competitive this Thunderstruck SamAllyCo late model series is. Week in and week out, there's always somebody new that's got a shot at the win. We've already had 3 unique winners this season. In 4 races. And we have a very strong chance that we'll see another one tonight. Only person that could be a repeat winner is Elliott Carlson, who currently sits in 6th place. He does have a shot. Carlson was kind of a closer last week. Only led the final 6 laps of the race. But obviously those were the ones that counted and got him that race win. Corey Bigley really utilizing that apron. He's so low that the game keeps registering him as entering pit road. Because he is getting so close to that inside wall. And Lanier is another one of those tracks where you can really utilize that apron here in Langley. And the apron can kind of serve 2 roles. If your car is tight, You can use it to de-wedge that car, help it turn. And if your car is a little bit free, needs some drive off, it can help give it a little bit of stability. It's a really good crutch that these drivers can utilize to help with the handling of their cars, and you can really see Corey Bigley is doing that. We can watch up close from this view right here. Watch how he takes 1 and 2, how low he gets below that yellow line, trying to get any kind of grip he can. Definitely a neat feature of Lanier. Oh, Chris Reese back underneath Rick Rube for third. There he is barreling down the backstretch. Can he clear car 81? Yes, he's able to. Reese gets by Rube back to third. Now setting his sights on your top two. Oh, and he's around off of two. Big wreck. And that'll be the first caution flag of the race. Wow. Here's a look at the wreckage replay. There's Reese trying to get clear over Rube, and he is able to. And as they drive it in, we see Rick Rube yeah. He just gets into the back bumper of the 62 hard. I don't know if he just drove it in too deep or the 62 kind of checked up more than he was realized. But that gets Elliott Carlson involved, Alex Veith, Tyler Rice, Kiernan Church. A lot of fast guys got caught up in that one. So the top two does not change. Jake Boehm, Corey Bigley are your top two. We see Josh Oswald will move to third. Alex Veith and Tyler Rice will round up your top five. One driver who's not happy with that is definitely Rick Rube, who came into this race fourth in points. If he finishes back there, it could greatly affect his standing. Elliott Carlson on pit road, I assume, to get some damage fixed in that wreck. Doesn't look too bad. But looks like he's just going to try to get as much fixed as he can. Lights are off on the pace car, getting ready to go back green. Jake Boehm on the bottom, Corey Bigley on the top. Behind them, it's Josh Oswald, Alex Veith, Tyler Rice. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out in the air, and Jake Boehm up through the gears, lead this field into 1 and 2. We see Corey Bigley tucks in line into second, side by side for third. Oswald able to clear Veith, and now all eyes are on this battle for the lead. There's Bigley looking low off of turn number 4. But he's not able to get underneath the 18. Boehm still hangs on to that first place spot. And the cat and mouse game between Boehm and Bigley continues. Big run there off of 4 for Corey Bigley. Almost tagged that back bumper of the 18. He will stay behind him for the time being. We are past the halfway point of this race. And at this point, the aggression levels continue to increase. Corey Bigley is the fastest late model on the track right now. 13.71 was his last lap time. He's got a big run off of 4 once again, just trying to do something with it. And he's just watching what that 18's doing, where he's exposing the bottom and just waiting for him to make a mistake. Corey Bigley just ready to pounce. There you see, once again, really utilizing that apron, getting all of those left side tires beneath the yellow line. Jake Boehm utilizing it a little bit too, but Main reason why he's doing that is he's running a defensive line to make sure that he does not give up the bottom. You just got to be too careful with pinching off your entry and exit because it could scrub some speed and allow the guy behind you to get right to your back bumper and just bump you out of the way. Corey Bigley, he is right there. He has completely filled up the rear mirror of car number 18. Just biding his time, being patient, waiting for the right time to make a move. And he's got a big run off of 4. Can't quite get underneath the 18. He will keep trying. He gets to, almost the left rear. Jake Boehm just fighting tooth and nail to hang on to this first place spot. Just running a really low line to just cover up the bottom of the racetrack. We see Boehm starting to extend that gap a little bit. But right away, Bigley closes it back. Looking to see what he can do. And Josh Oswald, not too far behind there in third. He's ready to pounce if either of these two make a mistake up front. So Corey Bigley. Ooh. Got a little bit squirrely there. I could actually see his driver fighting the wheel. Elsewhere in the field, we see Kieran Church underneath Tyler Rice for 4th. Rice holding strong on the outside. He's keeping up that momentum. And he might be able to clear Church. Almost did there. But Kieran keeping it on the bottom. He does have that preferred groove. So I'm not sure how long Rice will be able to hang on here on this outside. Oh, we got a battle for the lead. Corey Bigley goes to the outside of Jake Boehm, trying to see if he can make it work up there. So that takes away Jake's arc into the corner. He still has the preferred groove on the bottom, but you can make the outside work here. That's what Bigley's trying to do. Boehm still with the nose on the bottom, trying to fend off Bigley. But there's Corey, big run off of 4. I mean, this is as good as it gets right here. Short track racing at its finest. They doored each other a little bit. Neither driver giving the other an inch. Both of them wanting this first place spot badly. And they've got 25 more laps to decide who will get it. And it might not even be one of them, because Josh Oswald, he is right there in third. But Boehm, big run on the bottom. He is able to get clear. Oh, Bigley into his back bumper. He looks low. He's able to get there off of 4. Right on the left rear, right on his door. Now back to his quarter. Boehm trying to shut the door, but Bigley is right there. Oh, and he just... something happens, maybe slipped up, and he will lose that first place spot, falls back to second, and he will have to try things again to reel back in this 18 car. See Tyler Rice trying to track down Josh Oswald for 3rd. Spot on the podium. Jake Boehm going to have to encounter some lap traffic. We see Aaron Ward goes to the high side, letting him go by pretty easily. And so here we go. Corey Bigley Tried to take a shot at the lead, didn't work out. Fell back. Probably took some time to just think about what happened there and just evaluate what he needs to do next. And he is all over the back bumper of the 18. Gives him a little wiggle there on the back stretch. And there's the 28, almost to the left rear. Does he have the bottom? Ooh. He's going to, I thought he was going to try to drive it in there into 3 and 4. Jake Bain still hanging on to it, but Corey Bigley all over him. Jake trying to protect the bottom, gets the bumper from the 28. Really low entry. Just trying everything he can to protect that bottom lane. 15 to go. What can Corey Bigley do? We saw he tried to, oh, Tyler Rice. Almost turned the 28. Keeps it off him, but he will make this a 3-horse race now. Watch out. Car number 6 wants it bad. Tyler Rice, this would be his first win of the season. It's also been a little bit of a rough year for him. Trying to rebound here tonight. So Bame, Bigley, now Rice. Oh, Bame turns him. 18 of Jake Bame is around, 12 to go. Second caution is out. Whoa. And this has seemed to have happened a lot to Jake Bame. In the lead, ends up sideways before the end of the race. So there we go, 28 on his back bumper. We had seen him giving him shot after shot over the last 5 to 10 laps. Really low entry for the 18. Bigley follows right behind him and bang! Right into the back bumper. Sending Jake Bame around. Tyler Rice barely misses the 18. Looks like everybody else able to go around him as well. It looks like Corey Bigley was issued the EOL. He will be in the back because of causing the caution. So, wow. Tyler Rice is in the race lead now. Josh Oswald second. Kieran Church third. Chris Reese fourth. Rick Rube fifth. This is going to be a whole new race now. Before the caution came out, Tyler Rice definitely looked quick. But watch out for the Jet. Josh Oswald. He's hungry for it as well. Kieran Church definitely going to be a threat. There we go. Lights are off on the pacer. We're going to have a 6-lap shootout to decide this thing. Who will get it done? It's pretty much guaranteed we will have a first-time winner this season. Everybody wants it. Who will get it? And green flag is in the air. Can Tyler Rice close this race out? He is able to get clear of Josh Oswald. There's Kieran Church underneath the 17 for second. He's trying to get clear, and yes, he is able to, heading into 3 and 4. Oswald gives him a little bit of a bumper, but Church hangs on to it. Oh, no, Rick Rube into the inside wall. 5 to go, no caution yet. Tyler Rice hanging on to the race lead. 4 to go. Whoa! That was close. So the caution flag will come out. That was Rick Rube. We saw stopped on the racetrack. We see he was underneath Chris Reese for 4th. And just drives it in deep into the corner. Holding that bottom. And looks like the 62 kind of moves down a little bit. And that contact just sends Rube right into the inside wall. So he's now on pit road getting some damage fixed. Elliot Carlson going to get his lap back. He's back into contention for this thing. Trying to get 2 wins in a row. Only has 8 cars he needs to get by. Crazier things have happened. We shall see. But Tyler Rice remains your race leader. He'll have a green-white checkered to try to fend off Kieran Church, Josh Oswald, Chris Reese, Jake Boehm. Are you not entertained? What a win this would be for Tyler Rice. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a rough season for driver number 6. To get the win, that would be huge. I know he would definitely be excited, just as anyone would, for the race win, but especially with some of the races that he's had this season. So Tyler Rice on the bottom, above him Kieran Church, behind him it's Josh Oswald, Chris Reese, Jake Boehm. Here we go. Green-white checkered underway. Here goes Tyler Rice, able to get clear of Kieran Church. Now it's Oswald Church side by side for second. Church has got a big run on the outside, trying to shut the door on the 17. And a white flag is in the air for Tyler Rice. Can he close it out? We see Church protecting the bottom. He pushes up the racetrack. That'll open the door. There goes Josh Oswald. Oh, boom! Into his back bumper. That'll collect him, and Chris Reese will slip by for third. Church second. Tyler Rice runs the fastest lap time of the race there on the final lap. Did a great job saving his tires. Well-deserved win. Tyler Rice gets it done for the first time this season. He will park it in victory lane and now doing some donuts. Huh. He just juked Alex Avith. Definitely a lot to celebrate. I'll go ahead and get the results up, see where your favorite driver finished. But starting off, going to pull in your third place finisher, Chris Reese. Chris, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy? Sorry, I had some audio issues there. Chris, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy? Pull somebody else and try to talk to Kiernan. Second place from Mesa, Arizona. Kiernan, this is Atlan, the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
Awesome. Well, good run tonight here at Lanier. It was definitely a wild race. I know I saw you lurking around the top 5 for a lot of the event, but Saw a lot of craziness happening up front. Had a great restart, able to get underneath Josh and able to hang on. Had Bane, Reese trying to get up through the field, but couldn't quite get to Rice, but hung on to that runner-up spot. I mean, just walk us through that race and how you wound up in the top 3.
Yeah, it was more or less. I was just trying to figure out how to drive the car and track. My first laps was qualifying, so I didn't really get any practice to see how it handled or anything. So it was trying to figure out that fine line of pushing it too hard because it's easy to burn the right front. Whether it's a percentage, it just heats up and it just doesn't want to turn no more. So you got to just watch the right front. And I just didn't know how to run the top side like T. Rice did when he got around Josh the first time, and I couldn't get by him. And I wish we would have stayed green because I caught T. Rice a little bit and just see if I could get to his back bumper and force a mistake. But we had that caution, and it's hard to try to time those restarts because you can maintain on the top side, but it for me it was really hard. I didn't know the groove yet, so I just had to force my way down and send it into one and just to see if I could scare T. Rice a little bit.
Now, this track definitely tricky on the tires. What was the key to saving them tonight?
I was just trying to be easy in and then just keeping a straight wheel. If you too much wheel in, then you're burning your right front, and then trying to pass somebody, you needed to put a little bit more right front into it. So you just had to be patient and waited for the right time to make that move.
Now, before we let you go, was there any sponsors or shout-outs?
I got to thank you for doing the broadcast. It's always nice to go back and rewatch. I also got to thank the league sponsors, Kiernan's Go-Go Juice, Islander Inn, SamAllyCo, Flexible Freight Solution, Jet Designs, and Josh for putting on the series and all these good racers. It's a fun series.
Well, again, congrats on the runner-up tonight, Kiernan. Have a great rest of your night.
You too.
So you go second place finisher, Kiernan Church. We will try one more time to try to get Chris Reese in here. Chris, this is Atlan in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, can you hear me this time?
Yeah, sorry. I probably had some audio issues on my end, but yeah, I got you now.
Oh, that's all good, man. It's all good.
But it was definitely a great race there tonight. I know you were our biggest mover of the race, started at the rear of the field, but all of a sudden I said, hey, Chris Reese is in the top 5, and kind of hung out there, able to avoid a lot of the mess, and you had a great final restart there during that green-white checkered, avoided some of the mess, and brought it home in third. So, I mean, just walk us through that trek from the rear of the field.
Yeah, I prefer to actually have to race people and so on, and so I if I don't have to qualify, I don't. A lot of these guys are faster than me anyway, so there's no point in starting right in the middle of them. I just happened to get lucky tonight.
Yeah, it was definitely a wild one for sure. A lot of incidents, and obviously tire saving was key. You had to make a lot of passes to get up front, so what was kind of the way that you were able to balance, obviously, passing cars and still hanging on to those tires?
Well, a bunch of it was the guys were really underdriving, in my opinion, a little too much. And so they'd be so slow in the center of the corner that if you could just get a nose under them, you'd be able to go around them the next corner and kind of just work your way up through the field that way. They're almost kind of oversaving the front 2 or 3 cars.
Now, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Of course, Sam Alley for sponsoring the series. Kiernan's Go-Go Juice. You guys for putting on an awesome broadcast as always. Like to thank Refab Inc., the sponsor on the car. Josh Oswald, of course, for putting on the series and putting up with all of us crazy yahoos. And I think that pretty well has my thanks covered.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the podium tonight, Chris. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You do the same.
And lastly, let's go ahead and pull in your race winner from Cherokee, Oklahoma, Tyler Rice. Tyler, it's Atlee in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. What's up, Atlee?
Doing well here in the broadcast booth, and looks like you were doing well out there on track tonight, bringing it home for the first time this season, and it was definitely an eventful one. I know we didn't really say your name too much until we saw you started to just work your way up through the field, got by Kiernan, got by Josh, and you were right there in the top 3 when top two kind of went around. Both of them went to the back, and you assumed the lead. And after that, had 2 restarts to try to hold off the field, and you were able to bring it home, even running the fastest lap time of the race on the last lap. So, I mean, what do you think made tonight the night?
Just sticking to my plan. Went out there and practice and run practice laps, and knew a number I had to hit a lap time every time to not burn up your tires, because with these cars, they tend to, depending on the setup, they wear out the tires one side or the other really fast. So I knew I needed to hit X number every lap to be able to not burn my tires up, maintain position, and be able to move through the field when the time was right. And I fell back there, had a little, I'm trying to hit my lap times and people are pushing by me, so I let them go. And then got lucky on that first caution and got some track position back. And then that second caution, I knew if I could get by Josh and be in that number 3 position, I was either going to be able to pass the 2 leaders, or they were going to wreck and I was going to assume the lead and have that inside position for a restart. And that was my goal when I passed Josh, is get that inside position for restart, because that meant the world to be able to control the restart. So that was my goal. I got there, and then wasn't a couple laps later they wrecked, and there we go. We just have to maintain the lead from there, and not give up big chunks to the guys behind me. So it's just stick to that plan and stay with it.
Well, definitely looked like that plan worked for sure. Got you in victory lane. Is there any sponsors or shout-outs for your win?
Sponsors for tonight, I think, is SamAlly.com. I'll just shout them all out here. We got Flexible Freight Solutions, Jet Designs, Islander Inn, and Kiernan's Go-Go Juice. All the sponsors there for the series. We appreciate what they do for us to be able to put you in the booth for a broadcast and be able to put up sessions and all that stuff. What goes into that takes a lot. So thank you to all of those, and just want to thank all the guys coming out and racing to be able to do something like this on a Thursday night. So it's fun, and I have a good time doing it. Finally get a late model stock win. Finally.
Was that so? This was your first late model stock car win?
This is my first within Thunderstruck. This is my first late model stock win. I've had a few officials and stuff like that, but this is my first Thunderstruck late model stock win. So I'm pretty pumped about it.
Yeah, this is a tough group, so you definitely should be pumped about that. Awesome job. Congratulations, Tyler. Have a great rest of your night.
Appreciate it, Allie. You too, man.
Well, one more time. Congratulations to Tyler Rice on grabbing his first win of the season. Got to give a big thank you to all of the league admins: Daniel Pope, Josh Oswald, Sam Wetstein, Jason Morin, Alex Veith, Tyler Rice. Thank you to all of them for all that they do for this league. Got to give a big thank you to league sponsor SamAllyCo for all of their support. Check out their website, SamAlly.com, for great gifts. And make sure to check out more of our Thunderstruck broadcasts in the future. Definitely a fun series. Appreciate them having us do their broadcasts. Got to give a big thank you to you, the viewer, for watching tonight. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. And check out our web store, IntensityBroadcasting.com. Make sure to turn on those notifications bell, because we will be back in action with the SamAllyCo Late Model Series next Thursday. We will be at Langley. Always a fun race at Langley. So definitely are not going to want to miss that. Turn on that notification bell so you do not miss a second of the action. You'll know when we go live. And I hope to see you there. I'm Atman Least on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Over and out.